Hey guys, welcome back to another video, where today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different to what I normally do. So recently I was messing around with moving villagers around and I was like, why not make like a video about that, because they're really annoying to move around. And then I started thinking of a ton of ways that you could do this, so this is going to be 10 different ways that you can move villagers around, and no, I didn't choose 10 because it's a nicer number. But 10 is a pretty nice number. Subscribe. So how I'm going to do this is I have these two villagers in these little houses right here, and I've killed off all the rest of the villagers just so they don't get in the way. But otherwise the village is completely the same. And then over here we have our destination, which I'll just try to bring villagers over to there, and I'll see which method I think is the best, which I'll mention at the end of the video. So the first thing I'm going to try is the one that actually made me want to make this video. So basically I was messing around with some villagers and I realized that you can make them kind of move around by using the bell mechanic to make them go to their beds. So I'm just going to try to do that real quick without doing any other preparation and see how that goes. It's probably going to fail miserably because there's beds in all the houses, but we'll just see what happens. So if I just obviously have to break this one in here, and I'll let him out of here. And I'm just going to place a bed right here and ring the bell. And yeah, he's already going over the other house. So now I'm going to try that again, but I'm actually going to remove all the other beds. So let's try that. So this time I'm going to try a little bit of a different strategy using the same mechanic, but this time I'm going to make a little tunnel so he's guided over there, but we're still going to use the bed and bell mechanics to get him over there. So I'll build that and I'll explain it in a second. So this right here is the main idea of it. Basically we just have to get him out of his house first, and then from that we can start building the actual contraption. So basically what happens is they try to walk over these stairs, and once they're on the other side they can't go back obviously, and they'll land on this pressure plate which will activate the bell. And the first bed they'll try to go to is this one, because we'll ring a bell to get them into this first one, and then they'll realize they can't get to the bed, so they'll look for a new one, and they'll see the one that's all the way over here, which is just within its range. So that bell that it activated will trigger it to go all the way over here, and then we kind of just repeat that over and over again to make it walk wherever we want to. Alright, so that should be it. I have this whole tile going all the way over here, and then we just have a bed underneath that block right there, so that when he hits this last bell over here, he'll walk straight in. And what's nice about doing this is he can kind of wander for himself into the hole down here. So let's try it out. Alright, so here we have our villager. I'm just going to break this bed right here. And then I'm going to go over here, break this window, break this, and I'm going to ring this bell. And you can see he's walking straight over. And hopefully he should walk straight over to our destination. Oh, he actually skipped the last pressure plate, but it seems like he's going to make it anyways. And there he goes. So now we have our villager in our hole. And it honestly wasn't that bad. I feel like this wouldn't be that good for kind of mass moving around villagers, but it's definitely good for something like a trading hall if you don't want to use something like a minecart. Okay, so while I was editing this video, I realized that this part of the video got very repetitive, so basically I'm just going to explain everything in just 2 seconds. So after the bell strategy, I used something that was very similar, but instead of using bells, I used the nighttime to lure them over, which went horribly. First night there was a zombie horde. I killed it with my pickaxe. Then to go find the villager, and then eventually the villager got hit by a poison potion that a witch threw at me that missed, and then also shot by an arrow that a skeleton shot at me that also missed. The second night was going a lot better, and then when I reached the tunnel, the cage got blown up by a creeper. Then on the last night, it was completely fine. The villager just kind of went in, and there was a baby zombie that I killed. That was the only thing that went wrong. And then the villager was in the cage. After that, I used a very similar strategy, but instead of using beds, I used workstations, and that went very well. The villager just went straight into the hole. Then after that, I used a strategy that a lot of us have probably used, which is just putting them in a boat, and whenever you reach a ledge, you just push it up with a piston, and that also went pretty well. Then I tried a bunch of strategies using minecarts. I used the powered rails, I used furnace minecarts, and I also used putting boats in minecarts, which for some reason exists. Don't ask me. So now I'm going to try a little bit of a sillier strategy. I'm going to try using a fishing rod to hook him and pull him all the way over to our destination. Hopefully this works. I feel like he might just kind of get distracted by everything else around here though. Oh, okay, that's exactly what he's doing. So now I've destroyed all the workstations that are around here, and I'm going to try milling him over with the fishing rod. So if I let him out, hopefully I can just hook him on. And then I'm going to lure him over here. Try to go up a little bit. Kind of works. It's a little strange. Get back here. Oh, this is so much better. And now he's stuck in here, it should be pretty easy to get a good shot into this chamber. And the reason I have water is so that he doesn't die when I drop him in, so put that in there. I'm actually going to make it back up real quick because I'm probably going to mess this up. Alright, here we go. Oh my, that was actually first try, I'm not even lying. I did it. Another method that I thought of that you can do is just making a long tunnel all the way over there and then pushing them with water. But it's just, why? Why would you do that? So I'm just not going to. So this one is going to be scaring him with zombies, or in this case, husks as daytime. So we're just going to let him out. We're just going to put a husk right here and see what happens. What? Alright, well that didn't work at all. So now I'm going to try moving him with violence. I'm going to use knockback and stuff. But before I actually let him move, I'm going to try to put armor on him because hopefully I don't really want him to die. Alright, we got him in here. We put our armor in there. We should just be able to equip it on like that. Can't see it, but it's on him. So what I tried doing at first is just punching him until I can get him over there, but I also have some other tricks up my sleeve in case that doesn't work. So I'm going to actually use weakness as well, just so I'm even weaker. I do like no damage to this guy. Alright, so if I punch him, I literally can't do damage to him. Alright, so let's do that without weakness, because apparently I can't even damage him when I have that. This is working pretty well, but I want to try some of my other strategies, which is this knockback sword right here. I'm also going to heal him. It actually works really well if I just spam click him like this, and then it also should do less damage. I've also got this punch bow with healing arrows. Okay, this is a lot easier. Maybe I can like knock him all the way off of this ledge straight in. How am I gonna do this? I can't really get him up there. Might be able to like... Yeah, I probably should just do this. And play some villager golf. You gotta go up there eventually. No, why didn't I hit him? Oh my god, that was so close. This seems like a good shot. We just... No. Okay. Yes! That took so long. Why did that take so long? But I did it. That was... Okay, that's gotta be the most fun method. So now I want to rank all these, and how else will I do that besides building a giant tier list inside of Minecraft and doing it here? So the first one I'm going to be ranking is the bell and the bed. I'd say this is probably B tier, just because it's not that good for just moving the villagers around normally, but it's pretty nice for something like a trading hall. And then next we have the night plus the bed, and I'm just going to put that in, like, E tier, because it's really not that good, especially because you can just use a workstation. It's so much easier without it being nighttime and stuff. And then now for the workstation, like I said, this one kind of is useless compared to the workstation, so I'm just going to put the workstation probably... Yeah, it's probably B tier because it's really easy for moving things around, but it can get distracted by other workstations, and also it's just not that convenient for moving a bunch of villagers around at a time. And then we have the boat, not the boat in the minecart, just the boat with a piston moving around. This has to be probably the same as this. I know everything's in B tier right now, but it'll probably make sense in the end, maybe. But it's just really convenient. It's not too difficult. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I'm going to put it in A. It's the one I've always used. Okay, and now on to all the minecart stuff. We have the minecart with the powered rails, the minecart with the boat, and the minecart with the furnace minecart. I know it's kind of confusing in my hotbar like this, but powered rails, probably A. The boat, honestly, probably an S tier, because It's so cheap. You don't need power rails, and it just goes without you. You can put multiple villagers in one minecart. The only problem is getting the villager into the minecart in the first place. Wait, actually, no, you only have to get into the boat, which is really easy. So yeah, this is definitely an S tier. And the minecart with the furnace minecart, it worked pretty well. I'm going to put it the same with the powered rails because it seemed like it would probably be inconvenient. It was just the furnace minecart was so slow compared to the actual minecart that if you had like a longer distance, it probably wouldn't even be able to make it all the way. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to move this down to be it's just a furnace minecart. I mean, like, yeah. Okay, then we have fishing. Fishing, it was fun. So I'll put it up higher than I would normally. It wasn't that easy. The villager took a lot of damage. I'm just probably gonna put it in C. It was really fun though, to fish the villager into that hole. And then we have water. Why would you do this? F tier for sure. There's not really a reason to move it around with water. I didn't even show it in the video because there's no point. Why? And then we have intimidation with the husk that we had earlier. It didn't work at all, but it was fun. So I'll just put an E. It also was very dangerous to the villager. And then we have violence. This was probably the most fun one out of all of these. So I'll put it in. It also did work too. It was very expensive though. I was using a bunch of healing arrows and enchanted stuff. So I'll probably put this in. I'm tempted to put an A tier, but it's not good, but it is really fun. So I'm probably gonna put it in B. Alright, I've tweaked a little bit of these things around, and I think this is my final tier list. I had to move some things around, like I moved the bed in nighttime up a little bit because E tier isn't really fair, even though it's completely useless compared to the other one. And then also decided to move up the bell in bed because it's actually, now that I think about it, it would be really nice for something like a villager trading hall if you don't want to deal with minecarts. I think I also moved this up. I honestly don't remember. Okay, and then we have, wait, what's this? TNT cannon. Yeah, he'll probably land in there. Eventually. Is he alright? Easy S tier. Top of S.